What is going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So check it out, and I'm sure you all know at this point, but the markets did not do well whatsoever today, and we got to break down why this is happening. We also have to break down earnings reports, stocks, charts I'm looking at. But before we do all that, get your free money from Moomoo, up to 6 free stocks, each of which could be valued all the way up to $3,500. Just use my link down below or go to StasSurfS.com/Moomoo, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get your free money. And with that being said, guys, cheers. You're gonna need some coffee for this one. Let's get into the video. So the markets closed about 20 minutes prior to me filming this video, and we ended up closing for the Nasdaq down 2%, the Russell down 2.3, we had the S&P down 1.5, and we had the Dow Jones down a little bit over 1%, as we had the VIX up about 11.6%, and we had gold down 0.1%. Not bad compared to silver, which went down over 2.1%. So it was just a freaking bloodbath out there, guys. Complete bloodbath today. VIX now back almost into the mid-20s. It was slightly under 20 very recently. So we got to break down what's going on here. We'll talk a little bit about oil, see how that chart is looking like. So based on what I'm seeing here on this 20-day chart on SPY and on Triple Q, both of these guys, they are, well, I guess Triple Q took the lows out already. It hit a fresh low today here on this 20-day chart at $300 and almost $33 a share. And SPY is pretty dang close to taking out the lows as well. So we were breaking out this morning. Everything was looking good. SPY was at 450. And then all of a sudden, boom, we got news from Jerome Powell, the IMF debate, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then the markets ended up selling off freaking aggressively. Look at this. SPY went from 450 all the way down to about 437. It lost almost 3% intraday. And get this, when you look at Triple Q, what it lost intraday, you're going to lose your freaking mind, guys. Look at this intraday chart. Triple Q lost, are you ready for this? This thing lost 4% intraday, which is just wild. Let's see what the Russell lost. Probably something similar, maybe worse. Yeah, right about 3.6%, and the Dow, not that bad, I'm assuming, but still, the Dow went down about, let's see here, intraday, 2.2%. So very bloody day out there, and today, pretty much, Powell confirmed that the U.S. Central Bank will be considering a more aggressive path of monetary policy tightening when officials meet for their next policy meeting, which you guys should know is in less than 2 weeks. That is in the early days of May here. And Jerome Powell said, compared with the central bank's 2004 to 2006 tightening cycle, inflation now is higher, and yet monetary policy remains more excuse me, guys, my throat's getting a little wonky there. Monetary policy remains more accommodative, which makes complete sense. I mean, inflation at this point is what, 8.5%, and in reality, it's probably over 10, 12%, maybe more than that, who knows? And the interest rates are still very, very low. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. No kidding, Jerome Powell, right? No freaking kidding. And he also said, it is appropriate, in my view, not my view, Jerome Powell's view, and in my view as well, honestly, to be moving a little bit more quickly, he continued, though he declined to endorse a specific path towards, or forward rather, and said any decisions will be made at the meeting itself. He said he also thinks that there's something in the idea of front-end loading whatever accommodation one thinks is appropriate. So front-end loading, I'm assuming that means maybe a couple of 50 basis point hikes here in the next couple of months, and then maybe 25 basis points. Maybe I'm wrong on that, right? That makes sense, right, guys? And so essentially he's saying a 50 basis point rate hike is on the table for May. And did I not say like 2-3 weeks ago, the markets are irrational? I mean, what else is new, right? These markets are irrational because we already knew about this. I mean, it seems like the same piece of news comes out every 10 days, and then all of a sudden the markets are like, oh my god, we didn't know about this, and then the markets sell off, like what we saw today, which was a ridiculous bloodbath out there. So it's really nothing that we didn't know. Maybe the fact that he seems hawkish, more hawkish, and he's just solidifying the fact that, yes, this 50 basis point rate hike is on the table. Now the markets are maybe taking it a bit more seriously, but they should have been taking it more seriously, weeks ago, because it's a legitimate thing right now. Inflation's hot. Why wouldn't they take this 50 basis point rate hike seriously? So, I mean, it's just a bunch of I don't know what to say, guys. Markets are going up. They're going down on the same piece of news. And then I guarantee you, in the next week, we're going to rally up again aggressively. And then early May, right before the meeting, markets are going to tank again, because of the rate hike. That's just how it works. I mean, at the end of the day, that is how it works. And we just got to live with it. And look, again, Triple Q took those highs out from, when was that? A couple of days ago? Yeah, a couple of days ago, last week's highs, or lows rather. Triple Q took the lows out today. And at this point, based on the 4-hour chart, we may be going down to test the lows from February, the lows from the middle of March, being around 315 to 320. That is definitely in the cards by, the looks of this chart right now, especially now that we're under both moving averages on the 4-hour. We have a death cross. This is not looking good for Triple Q. And let's see SPY on the 4-hour chart. Now SPY's under both moving averages as well. We have a death cross, which is not good. And if this thing collapses under, let's say, 436, there's no support from that point to about 425 to 428. So it's going to get even bloodier, in my opinion. So let's see. I mean, when they said 2022 was going to be a volatile year for the stock market, they were not lying, guys. They weren't lying. This year is ridiculously volatile. It is so choppy. It is all over the place. And for you to be in the stock market, guys, for all of us to be in the stock market, the reality is we have to have the stomach for it. We have to be able to ride through these periods of time where it's clearly choppy. It's all over the place. Our portfolios are swinging 20%. Well, not mine. I mean, geez. Some people's are, though, if they're more speculative. They're swinging 20% up, 20% down. More conservative people's portfolios, maybe 5-10% up, down. It's just been a very volatile, time period these past couple of months. And they weren't lying when they said, again, it was going to be a volatile 2022. And I'm assuming it's going to continue to be that way. So strap up, guys. Get ready, because more rockiness is most likely ahead. So that's what shot the markets down today, and who knows, maybe we go down even more tomorrow, and then we'll probably get some sort of relief rally, because even on the 5-day chart, guys, we're getting pretty oversold on SPY and on Triple Q. So what do you think? Drop me a comment. Let's see what crude oil did today. I didn't watch it at all, to be honest. Crude oil went up 2%. It closed at 104 a barrel. Not that bad. It's it's sandwiched right between these moving averages on the 4-hour chart. So if this breaks 105 in the short term, I'll put my alert there right now. Mark is at we're above 105. If that point breaks, we might make a shot towards 110, which was the high 3 days ago. If 110 breaks, the infamous 115 level that I've been talking a lot about for crude oil, that is going to be right after that. So crude oil, not too bad. And again, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the like button and, of course, subscribe. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers. And I look at my analytics, guys. A lot of you watch the videos, but you're not subscribed. You know who you are, right? So let's now talk about some earnings. Some are good and some are just not that good. So we're going to start off with Snapchat, which I told you guys recently, I think within the past week or two, if Snapchat were to fall under 25, low 20s, I'd be willing to buy more. And look at what's going on after market hours, guys. Today alone, up until the close, Snapchat went down 4.3%, so it wasn't a good day at all for Snapchat. And then once they reported earnings, this stock went down all the way to $22 for a split second, and now it's all the way back over $30. It's above where it closed, well above, about $1 above where it closed. So this thing is so volatile. I mean, just like the markets, right? It went down 25% to $22. Now it's up to $30, and it got all the way up to $33. So This one's moving up and down, up and down, up and down. And the funny thing is they missed on EPS and on revenue. They did -2 cents EPS versus -1 cent estimated. So they missed EPS, like I said, and they missed on revenue, $1.06 billion versus $1.07 billion estimated. And now the stock's starting to move up above $31 a share, guys. Look at that. Let's go, baby. And by the way, full disclosure, I am long Snapchat and I am down a decent chunk, but we're holding on, baby. We're holding on. So they had their Q1 daily active users come in at 332 million, up 18% year over year. Not too bad. And they see Q2 revenue of around 20 to 25% growth, rather, the revenue growth of 20 to 25% year over year versus the roughly 27% estimated. So I'd say that's pretty good. You know, Q2 revenue growth year over year, 20 to 25%. I would say that's pretty good. Daily active users growth right around 20%. Not too bad. So yeah, I mean, they double missed. They missed EPS and revenue, but the fact that daily active users came in very strong, I'd say Q2 revenue guidance is strong. Snapchat's moving up. Snapchat's moving up. And if you guys take a look at the stock, if we pull up, let's say, this 20-day chart, this was at $40 back in the beginning of April. So it's come down a lot. I mean, geez, if you look at that $40 level to 22, it almost went 50% down, which is ridiculous. I'm not sure if that was a glitch or a legitimate move all the way down to $22, but it's come down a decent amount. So earnings, they came in pretty decent, not too bad. Guidance is strong. Decent, I'd say. I don't want to say strong. So that's why the stock's probably moving up a bit, because it's already been hit down about, let's see here, close to 30% in just the past 2-3 weeks, which is just insane, guys. So for Snapchat, again, I'm long. If this ends up going under 25, I'll add more to it, and we'll see what it does from there. Another one that I want to talk about, guys, is Boston Beer Company, ticker symbol SAM. Last I checked, they were supposed to report today, and let's see if they actually reported. So this stock went down to 345, or closed rather at 345 today, and it went down about 4.2% on the day. And let's see here after market hours. Up, take a look at that, guys. It hit a low of 315, so it went down. Oh, wow, that's not good. It's gapping down about 9% after market hours here. So let's see on the live news tab what their numbers are looking like. They did -16 cents EPS versus the $1.97 estimated, which, geez, that is a bad miss there. And they beat on revenue. Okay, $457.29 million on revenue versus $447.88 million. So I'm not sure if that EPS is a one-off accounting measurement, or one-off quarter thing. I have to look deeper into it. But I'd say, yeah, I mean, it's not looking the best in terms of EPS. And this is a stock that, I mean, we've covered many times on the channel. Maybe not recently, but, probably a year. I don't want to say a whole year ago, but maybe, 6 months ago we were covering it, and it's just kept on going down. I think when I was looking at it, it was around $500. Now it's at $300. So now it's down about 75%, guys. And if you didn't know, I mean, Boston Beer Company, they own a lot of brands that you and I know. I mean, they own a lot of them. They own Truly, Sam Adams, the list goes on. We're not going to go deep into it. I think I don't want to misspeak, but there's a lot of them, right? There's a lot of them. So go check out Boston Beer Company. Watch out for it. I mean, do a deeper dive into it, guys. I'm not telling you what to do. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but when a stock's down 70, 80%, it's a good company, which I think this company is pretty solid. That's when you want to look deeper into it and maybe consider, I'm not telling you what to do with this company, but I'm talking about in general, maybe consider buying. So keep your eyes on Boston Beer Company. American Airlines reported today, and this stock went up a decent amount, 3.8% on the day. They ended up doing -$2.32 EPS versus -$2.40. That beat. Revenue came in at $8.9 billion versus $8.88 billion, or rather $8.83 billion estimated. So nice double beat for AAL. And the crazy thing is, guys, get this. They see Q2 capacity 92 to 94% of the 2019 levels, which I'd say that's pretty crazy. We're talking 92 to 94%, pretty much 100%, almost 100% of these 2019 pre-pandemic levels. That is awesome. And get this, guys, even better, they see Q2 revenue 6 to 8% above Q2 of 2019, which is pre-pandemic. So they're going to do more revenue than they did pre-pandemic, 6 to 8% above, which is just awesome. And did I not call this out? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, guys, but did we not call this out here on the channel? So if that's not a reason to subscribe and you haven't subscribed yet, just subscribe. Hit that red button, subscribe. I appreciate you guys as always. And yeah, AAL went all the way pretty much to our target, $22. Now it's down to about $20 flat. It's pulled back a good chunk. If it comes down a little bit more, maybe 19.50, I will heavily consider, getting into this one. So AAL solid. I like it. AT&T, guys, look at what's going on here. AT&T went up 4% on the day. They did EPS of 77 cents versus 59 cents. So they crushed EPS, and they absolutely demolished revenue. $38.1 billion in revenue versus 29.53. I don't think I've ever seen a quarter where revenue beat that much for AT&T and EPS. I mean, EPS crushed it. So the stock deservingly went up, 4% on the day, like I said. And this is interesting because they just split off from WBD. Let's see how that stock's been doing. Whoa, look at that, guys. Warner Brothers Discovery went down 7% today. So this stock's down 25% roughly since they split. So it looks like AT&T in the short term is faring off, or not faring off, what the heck am I even saying? Is doing better, right? Let's just put it that way. AT&T is doing better than WBD in the very short term. And that doesn't mean necessarily that that's going to be, how it goes on into the future. Who knows? WBD might do better than AT&T, but right now in the very short term, AT&T is crushing it. We got to watch out for it, especially, listen here, guys, if it takes out $20.50, that's a big level of resistance from back in the middle of January. If that point breaks, this thing could go up even higher towards the mid-20s, no doubt in my mind. So keep your eyes on AT&T. Nucor also reported today. Let's pop it up. This chart looks great. It's very bullish, clearly. Momentum's to the upside. It went up 4% roughly on the day today, and they ended up doing EPS. Let's see, did they double beat? Yeah, they did EPS of $7.67 versus $7.29, estimated revenue of $10.49 billion versus $10.48 billion. Like I said, they double beat. And at this point, I would say it's a little overbought. Yes, momentum is clearly bullish. There definitely could be more upside, but I would much rather pick it up. Let's say now it's at 175. I would like to pick up these shares between 155 to 160, maybe even down 150 if it does end up going down to that point. So I like Nucor, just needs to cool off a little bit. The risk reward is getting a little bit it's getting a little bit unfavorable at this point. It's got to come down a bit in my opinion. And the next one here is Freeport-McMoRan, which is getting destroyed. It went down 9.9% on the day today. It is up a little bit after hours, but really not much at all. They did revenue of $6.6 billion and EPS of $1.04. So they are profitable, guys. And shares are falling because of their copper sales outlook for full year 2022. Hence why the stock, again, is down about 10%. So based on what I'm reading, guys, they're going through a lot of problems right now with supply challenges, especially with copper. Hence why, the sales outlook is not looking good for full year 22. And I think the CEO or on the call, not on the call, or maybe on the call, yeah, they said this can't be solved simply by higher prices. So they can't just jack the prices up and expect everything to just poof, vanish. There's a supply chain problem, and that's going on with a lot of different, industries here, sectors throughout all over the world. And you probably can notice it in your day-to-day life. I'm sure you've experienced, some problems day-to-day with maybe products are not coming in as fast, things that you want and that nature, right? Or things that you need, whatever. So, yeah, I'm not blaming FCX here. And quite frankly, the chart still looks pretty dang good in my opinion, especially if this thing can find some sort of, support around $43, $44, $45. Maybe we could get some sort of rally on FCX, so watch out for it. And the last one, guys, if you all stuck till the end, make sure to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. The last one is Union Pacific. This went down 1%, and they ended up, let's see here, double beating as well. Look at that. Nice double beat. They did $2.57 EPS versus $2.55 estimated. Revenue came in at $5.86 billion versus $5.69. So again, nice double beat for UNP. And look at this chart. Pretty nice chart in my personal opinion, guys. If I just draw out a basic little channel here, you guys can see that is where we're trading right now. We're holding the uptrend. We've been solid, holding solid above 238, 240 recently. Now we're in the mid 240s. If this starts breaking 250 to 255 again, right by these moving averages, which I'll put my alert right around 256. If that point breaks, guys, mark is out or above. There we go. We might be making a move towards 265, 270 plus again in the short term. So keep your eyes on UNP and all of those other stocks that I just mentioned. And I guess with that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you all found value, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, join my Patreon, and don't forget to get your free money from Moomoo, up to 6 free stocks, each of which could be valued all the way up to $3,500. Just use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo, deposit at least $100, and boom, you get your free money. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, peace out.